In this video, we're going to be learning about how to use the settings feature inside of your team. First, you just log into the team that you're going to be working with and go to these three little dots after the name of the team. Click on Manage Team. Then you come over to Settings and click Settings. Now, Wes, why is it important that we even worry about the settings for our team?
I think of both privacy and safety. There are some things that you might be putting inside of your team that maybe you don't necessarily want, just any random person to have access to. The other thing is safety, because you want to keep both the documents safe or files or whatever in here, and you might not want them to accidentally get deleted. And the other thing is, some of these teams in the future you might be using with students in your classroom. And so the same thing applies. We want to only give so much permission and rights to certain people, and we want to make sure everybody feels like what they put in here isn't going to disappear.
Yeah, the very important concerns. Thank you. That was great. You can add a team picture if you would like to. That would fit inside of your little icon that you have here. You just change picture there. Here's the big one. Member permissions. When you go into here, it's possible everything's going to be selected for you, and you want to go through and just change those and just read what the definition of them is and make sure that you get rid of there we go. Sometimes it just is a little slow on the draw. You just deselect what you don't want to have active for everybody. We will tell you it's really important that for your students and for other team members that you don't want to have them where they can delete anything that you put in there. Make sure you're looking at this. So like right here, allow members to delete and restore channels. Well, you may not want them to delete your channel that you have. So you just make sure that's deselected and it won't happen. Now, Wes, we did find out one interesting thing when we were working in here, when somebody would, like a student, would try to go in and delete something. Do you remember what that was?
So yeah, Jim, when you go ahead and deselect that and it says that they can't rename or remove certain things, it might still give them the option to, but when they go to actually do the process of deleting something, it won't actually happen. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because when we first learned about that, it kind of threw us that it would still show. And then like when Wes was experimenting with it, he'd go in there and he'd click and nothing would end up happening, but it still looked like it should. So yeah, and really seriously, that's setting those settings that you have and putting those into effect. That's all there is to it. You can pick and choose, but you probably would concur. Make sure you take away any of the rights where someone could delete what you have in there.
Yeah, it's almost easier to start with as few amount as rights possible, and then as you notice somebody on your team or your students need something, then to just reactivate it rather than have something be deleted or gone and then have to go through the process of recreating all of that.
Perfect. So that's how you set your settings inside of your team. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.